Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I love starting out the live streams with a little bit of music, and I've discovered that for some reason my phone emits audio that the microphone accepts. Maybe it's the pitch of it, who knows what, but it's great to at least have some option until I eventually figure out the audio side of things and get this a little bit more fun opening than just silence. So let me look real quick at the live chat to see who has joined us already. It is a very, and I don't know if Susie over in Minnesota is getting something similar or not, or whether it's just a regional thing. But for us supposedly being in spring now, we have a major snowstorm hitting us today. Initially, they were talking about it being just a little bit of a snowfall. It's not going to stick. But I'll tell you one thing, it is definitely sticking. To the south of us, we probably have about 4 to 5 inches already that are on the ground. And up here in Oconto, we have probably, from my walk back from the restaurant this morning, probably have about 3 inches of snow on the ground already. And it is not lightening up. It is coming down with a vengeance, a real strong vengeance. So I've got these hats out. Let me kind of explain the story behind these hats a little bit. If you're brand new to the channel, and I'm also going to say a couple of good mornings as well. Let's see. By the way, I know that Susie is already in the live chat. Susie from Minnesota. Susie, you were absolutely right. This stand that you sent me as a surprise is incredibly helpful, especially when my hands are real greasy. and I'm able to turn the camera a little bit and just kind of touch the screen and not handle the phone, I am using this every single day. So thank you again for that thoughtful gift. I love when I get practical gifts, that they meet a need, and I just never ever thought of them. Someone else thought of them, and it just goes to show that because of each other, we're that much better, aren't we? We're that much better. So good morning again to Susie from Minnesota. Good morning to Corinne. Good morning to Corinne, and good morning to Sunny. And Sunny, you'll find it interesting that this package comes from at least the direction of your neck of the woods out there in Pennsylvania. This package that we're going to be unboxing today from Cora comes from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'm not sure how far you are from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but that's where this box is from that we're going to be opening up today and seeing what Cora sent us. Okay. Well, most of you know from the either from the fact that you're friends on Facebook with. Hold on a second. I'm just going to slide this other box out of the way for just a moment. Slide this back here, over here. Slide this over here. Angle the camera down a little bit. And see if I can get myself in the shot as well. There I am. Happy Saturday. Hey, we're having a snowstorm here. Yeah, I don't know about any of the rest of you. But boy, oh boy, outside right now, it's just coming down to beat the band. So even though the robins have been out there hopping around on the grass when the snow was melting away, and they're really excited, all the birds, all the critters are incredibly excited about the fact that spring is supposedly here. Supposedly we have spring, happy spring, but it looks like happy winter here today. And I don't know about any of the rest of you that are in the Midwest or elsewhere, if you're having weird weather as well with snow or sleet or any of that stuff that feels more like, November, December than March, April. We're almost into April already. And, but I guess that's just the nature of weather, isn't it? Weather does what it wants to do. I always say the boss sends what we're going to get, and that's what we get. Can't throw a fit. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but it kind of worked out that way. So at any rate, I've got a bunch of stuff here and I want to kind of show it to you and then get your input on Susie's hats. It'll make sense once I kind of explain what I'm up to, what I'm going to be doing. And what I'm up to and what I'm going to be doing is sending a care package to Alex Askarov. Most of you know that follow me on Facebook or follow Alex on Facebook maybe, or his wife Yana. You know that Alex has recently been diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, and it's really taken a hard toll on him and his family. And he's kind of like me. He's a tough guy, and he can get hit hard, and he just stands back up again with that wonderful smile and a thumbs up like he's been doing on all of his Facebook shots. But behind the scenes, as I've talked with him a little bit and talked with Yana as well, this has really rattled their world. And any one of you, including our dear friend Sunny, any of you that have faced cancer know how terrifying it can be, how frightening it can be, and it just paralyzes you. But they've drawn so much support from all of you that have reached out and sent messages to Alex or sent messages to Yana encouraging them through these difficult times that they're facing right now. And that's all well and good. And that's the beauty of a place and a format and a platform like Facebook, isn't it? Facebook connects us from around the world, and it gives us the opportunity when someone else is facing trials and tribulations to be a source of encouragement to them. But I wanted to take it a step further. You might remember, gosh, it's probably been over a year ago when I interviewed Alex on the channel. And if you didn't know about that, on the YouTube channel that we're on right now, if you go to playlists, under playlists, there's a VIP section. It says VIP interviews. And one of the interviews you'll see is the one that I did with Alex, which I think ran almost 3 hours. And we had a wonderful conversation. We got a wonderful exchange of information back and forth. A number of you submitted questions and or comments that you wanted me to pass along to him so that he would be able to respond to them. Back then, we shot a video. Now that we're live streaming, if I interview Alex again, or if I interview his son, Tom, if you didn't know it, Alex has a son named Tom who's looking at maybe taking over the business. He's already dipped his toe in the pond. He's gotten involved a little bit in the sewing side of things. He's also gifted in the realm of technology, and he's been very helpful to his dad in doing a number of things to help his dad out with technology on YouTube and shooting some videos and other things like that. And it's worked out beautifully. But when it comes to the connection with people, either through YouTube or Facebook, it's kind of one-dimensional, isn't it? It's a little bit one-dimensional. And so I wanted to do something tangible that just really reinforces from all of us at Cow Country that we're thinking about Alex, that we're thinking about Yana, we're thinking about Tom and the other family members. And we wanted to do something kind of fun and something kind of thoughtful. If you've seen any of Alex's posts recently, you'll notice that he's got a patch on his eye. And a couple of people were really curious about that. Why is Alex Askarov wearing a patch? Does he think that it's, talk like a pirate day, or what's going on? Well, apparently part of the process of his treatment, Yana is Alex's wife, shared that he's getting like a vision issue, a double vision or something going on. And possibly Sonny or others that have gone through chemotherapy might be able to speak to that with greater clarity as far as what that is, what's going on with it, or maybe some of our medical people can also help us better understand why would the chemotherapy, why would the treatment that Alex going through, why would that affect his vision? Why would it mess up his vision? And at any rate, he's got his eye covered right now. And I thought it was kind of funny and kind of cute. So at any rate, I picked up a couple things that I'm going to be mailing to Alex in a care package, along with one of the hats up here that I want you to pick. I want you to vote basically on this live stream. Whoever's here gets a vote. I want you to vote, and the preponderance of votes that goes towards one of the hats that Susie from Minnesota sent to me to give away to our family. And I consider Alex and Yana to be part of our family. They're dear folks over in the UK. They love us. We love them. And wouldn't it be fun to send them a couple of hats? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send them actually 3 hats. One for Alex, one for Yana, and one for Tom. And there's probably other family members that are going to get mad at me, but I don't know who they are. I don't know all of Alex's family incredibly well. I probably, if I went back to Alex's interview, I might remember some more family members that he mentioned. I know he had a sister that passed away very, very young, very, very sad. And if you watch Alex's interview that I have under my playlist of VIP interviews on this channel, you'll be able to revisit that moment and learn a lot, or be reminded a lot about who Alex Askarov is and why I consider myself so honored to know this man, and certainly to know his family and his wife Yana as well. He's grown up in the vintage sewing machine and the sewing space as a little toddler. Like I share with you through the interview with him. He's crawling around tables in the factory that his family had, where they would make all kinds of children's things. And they even made some children's things for the royal family at one point. If you didn't know that, he mentions that in the interview, if you check it out. But I want to send a couple of 3 of the hats that Susie made to Alex, to Yana, and to Tom. And I'm going to ask them if they'll consider posing with them or something like that. Wouldn't that be fun to see the Askarov family with these fun cow country hats on that Susie made for us? So I'm going to have you pick those 3. I think I have 1, 2, 3. I have 5 set up. So 3 of them that you pick are going to go to Alex and Yana and Tom over in the UK. The other 2 I'm going to give away today to whoever. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I might ask you a question and you'll have to text the answer in or post it in the live chat. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll let the moderating team pick out how we'll give the other 2 hats away. But we're going to give away 5 hats today. 3 are going to go to the Askarov family over in the UK. And then the other 2 are going to go out to somewhere else, to other cow country family members in this, somewhere in the US probably. And if you didn't see it on Facebook, if you don't do Facebook, the one that we mailed to Ria in Holland arrived there. And she put it next to one of her sewing machines, and I posted that on Facebook. So scroll down if you somehow missed that. It's really fun, isn't it, that these hats that Susie made so thoughtfully are going all around the globe. They're going all around the globe. If somebody wants one, I'm willing to pay to send it there, because isn't it fun to have cow country parading all around the globe? Yeah. So anyway, let me show you some of the other things I'm going to send to Alex and his family for fun. Most people, at least I, love licorice. So I'm going to be sending some of these in the care package to Alex. And I don't know if Yana is a licorice fan and she's going to scoop them up, or maybe Tom is. But I'm going to send 2 of these so they're less likely to cause a family battle, hopefully. And if you've never had red vine licorice before, I like Twizzler. I like Twizzler licorice a lot. Twizzler licorice is really, really good, but this is even better, in my opinion. Red vine licorice, it's not sugary, it's not syrupy, it's just delicious. So anyway, 2 of these are going to go to the Askarov family in the care package, and hopefully they don't get confiscated at customs or something like that. If we have some customs agent that is a licorice fan and they go, "Oh, these look dangerous. I think we've got to take them in." If that happens, I'll mail more until they finally give up. And then Alex and his family can enjoy some red vine licorice. And maybe it's available in the UK. I have no idea, but I'm going to send it anyway. Well, I'm dropping stuff. I'm also going to send some of these. I like these. I like mambas. If anyone else enjoys mambas, you can type it in the live chat. But mambas are just mambas. Is that what they're called? Yeah, mambas. Mambos or whatever. Mambo. Anyway, these things are really, really yummy if you've never had them before. They're really, really yummy. So some more, again, something tangible that just kind of brightens their day and makes them smile, and hopefully doesn't give them any extra dental bills. That's not my goal. It's not my goal. But we're going to send some of this to the Askarov family as well. And this isn't just from me and from our friends in the workshop. This is going to come from the Cow Country family. So all of you, this is coming from you too. So if you want me to write any sentiments into the note that I write to Alex and his family, let me know that, and I'll include something in there directly from you and put it in the care package as well. Also, Alex mentioned when he popped up on Facebook with his eye patch that his grandchildren were calling him a pirate, playfully calling him a pirate. So I oftentimes, as I think about the stories of pirates and all that, I think about glass bottles with notes in them floating across the ocean, and someone's, dropped it in on one side of the ocean, kind of like us over in the US, dropped a bottle with a note to the Askarov family from, let's say, New York. And it floated all the way across the ocean and got to Alex and his family in the UK. And it's some thoughtful notes that are saying, we love you, we care about you, we're praying for you. So what did I include with this from all of us at Cow Country? These fun little glass bottles. They're actually glass, and they've got a little cork inside of them. And I thought that this would be something fun that Yana and Alex could do some sort of a thing with the grandchildren. I have no idea what they're going to do, but I've got 2 of these, which I think are kind of fun. And again, they're glass. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? So I'll pack them real carefully. And then I've got these as well. These are a little bit different that I'm going to be sending as well. And I just thought they could come up with something fun. Maybe they'll use dye and put different colors of water in these, or I have no idea what they're going to do with them. But we'll include these as well with the care package. All of you that follow Alex know that he and Yana have beautiful flowers around their place in the UK. They love flowers. They're always posting on flowers and all that. So I thought, again, something that they could do with the grandchildren is some sort of a fun little project. These are like stickers with a flower theme to them. See if I can do it like that. These are stickers with a flower theme to them. Some of them are metallic and they're 3-dimensional. So, who knows what they'll do with them? Maybe they'll get a piece of paper and make cool little things with them, or what they're going to do with them. I have no idea. But I thought that we would include these from the Cow Country family as well. Something that Yana and Alex can do with their grandkids as Grandpa is going through chemotherapy, having some good days, having some bad days. And whenever the grandchildren are around, I'm sure it brightens his day dramatically. It gives them a sense of joy. And this will just give them something fun to do, maybe, along with eating the candy that we're going to include as well. Again, from the Cow Country family. I don't think I sent Alex when I mailed him a care package or a thank you. It wasn't a care package. When I mailed him a thank you package after he allowed me to interview him, I don't think I included one of these. So I'm going to be including one of these Soaholic posters this time that he can put up in his workshop. Maybe I should send 2. Yeah, type in the live chat if you think I should send 2. Since Tom has a different workshop where he helps his dad work on sewing machines, maybe we should include 2 of these, one for Alex's workshop, one for Tom's workshop. Maybe I should include 3 because maybe Yana wants one too. What do you guys think? Is 1 enough? 2 or 3? Because they're not going to take up much space in the package, right? So, at any rate, if you've never seen this before, this is a real fun poster, and it's silly. And again, it might brighten Alex and Yana's day, just glancing up at it and getting a little bit of a chuckle with this funny little lady here. And then last but not least, again, because he's been looking a lot like a pirate on Facebook with his eye patch, we're going to be including a bunch of these. I think I got 3 or 4, maybe 5 of them. I don't know how many I included. And there are actually 2 sides to these. Do I am facing the right way? I think I do. There's 2 sides to these, and these are stickers. These are stickers with a pirate theme. And I thought this would be fun as well to do something like this with the grandkids. Maybe they could build a sticker book, or who knows. All of you probably have some real clever ideas. And I'm sure that Alex and Yana will probably share pictures of what you're already getting a pre-glimpse of once this arrives in the UK. And then maybe you can send them ideas or thoughts. Maybe some of you are grandparents as well, or parents, and you can share ideas on what they might be able to do with all of this stuff that we're going to be sending them. But I saw these right away, and shiver me timbers and yo ho ho. I just thought that this would be a fun thing for us to include in the care package. Include this in the care package as well for Alex and his family. So I'm going to be mailing that. I'm going to be mailing this this week. So if you communicate with Alex and Yana, shh, don't tell them. I don't think that they follow what I do on Facebook. I know that. I'm friends with both Yana and Alex, as you probably know, and they watch my posts, and they get a kick out of some of the reels that I post as well, some of the funny reels. And actually, when they recently celebrated their wedding anniversary, I did a spontaneous little reel with a picture of of Yana and Alex, if you saw it, their wedding day, and then I animated Alex so he was singing a love song to Yana, and they got a real big kick out of that. But I don't think they follow me on YouTube, so I think we're okay with me showing this to you today. But just don't let the cat out of the bag. Don't tell them about this, so we can surprise them once it arrives there in the UK, and then maybe they'll post something about it on Facebook. And again, you can give them some ideas on what to do with this, or what to do with these things, these stick 'em metallic flower things, or these cute little. I thought these bottles were just amazing, or as the British would say, these are brilliant. I thought these were brilliant, and what little kid wouldn't have fun doing something fun with these, So anyway, I wanted to share this with you real quick before we do the unboxing, talking about a future boxing, as I'm going to be sending this off to the Askarov family in the UK from all of us. It's going to be from all of us. So again, if you have any specific things you want me to include in there, thoughts, comments, or whatever, or you can just post that on Facebook, in conjunction with anything that you do in relation to the Askarov family. So anyway, let me get this out of the way. We'll move on to the unboxing. But first of all, I need your input as well on the 3 hats that we're going to be including with all this stuff. The 3 hats that are going to be included that are going to go there for Alex, Yana, and Tom. Okay? I shouldn't have been kneeling. My knees are going, ouch. All right, let me get all this out of the way, and then I'll get your input on the hats. Okay, over to the hats. And there are so many other hats that I could have grabbed. I just grabbed these hats randomly. Susie made just an incredible variety of hats that can be given away to the Cow Country family. So I'm going to show you the 5 that I have here. Maybe I'll grab one more. See, I've got a red, I've got a gray, I've got a black. Let's see, I've got a white one. Yeah, I think it's fairly well represented. So again, we're picking 3 for the Askarov family. 1 for Alex, 1 for Yana, 1 for Tom. So we've got this really cool black one. It's got kind of a sparkly block lettering on it. We'll just call this hat number 1. So we have hat number 1 right here. Hat number 2 is kind of a gray colored one with white block lettering, and it's got kind of a sparkly finish on it. This is hat number 2. Hat number 3 is a white hat with kind of a glittery, sparkly block lettering. Really quite, I love this one. It's very pretty. This is hat number 3. Hat number 4 is a red one with white block lettering. This is hat number 4. And then last but not least, hat number 5 is kind of a black-white pattern on the hat with black block lettering. And this is non-glittery. It's just more conservative, more plain, which is fine for me. So those are the 5 that I picked. Just type into the live chat a number. Again, I'll just show you again. This is hat number 1. Hat number 2. Hat number 3. Hat number 4. And hat number 5. Okay, I'm going to look at the live chat now. Also, I'll see if I need to say good morning to anyone else. And then we will launch into this unboxing. Again, that is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is from Cora. And Cora is really hoping for a miracle with this machine. She apparently went around the Philadelphia area a little bit and talked to some technicians, some sewing places. None of them were willing to even seriously consider working on the machine for her. So that's how she kind of landed on our doorstep here. And I'm going to do my very best to help her with this machine. Okay, let me look at the live chat real quick. Okay, I'm going to scroll all the way to the top. I'm going to scroll all the way to the top and say hello to everyone. And you know what else I should do is I should probably display them like this so you can see them a little bit easier. I don't think I have enough room, though. I don't have enough room. Yeah, that's a silly idea. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that doesn't work. That's a fail. Any rate, you saw them. You saw them. I'll look at the live chat. All right. Okay, I'm going to scroll all the way up, all the way up. So once again, good morning to Susan. Susan, who generously, with their time and talent, donated all of these hats so that we could give them away to Cow Country members around the world. Good morning to Corinne. Good morning to Sunny. And Sunny and her partner Craig live out in Pennsylvania, and I'm not sure how close they are to where Cora is. But this package again that we're unboxing today came from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Good morning to Candido from the great state of New York. Good morning to Candido. Oh, good morning to Robin. Good morning to Robin, also from the great state of Minnesota. And I'll say hello to Robin's dog as well. I know that sounds a bit odd, but our dogs are a part of our family. They are our family, really. So I'm going to say hello to Levi. Levi is Robin's dog, and he is a cutie pie. So good morning to Levi and good morning to Robin from Minnesota. Good morning to LJ. That's fun. That's easy to remember, huh? Good morning to LJ. Good morning to Mesa Group, also from Minnesota. I believe that's Bill. And Bill has a dog too, but I always brain lock on the name of Bill's dog. So Bill, type the name of your dog in the live chat so that we can be reminded again of your cutie pie as well. Because Bill shared some pictures of his puppy when I sent one of Susie's hats to him. And what a gorgeous dog Bill's dog is too. Fairly young too. I think he's still a puppy. Oh, wow. Levi gave me a tail wag. Yes. Ha. Oh my goodness. We've had LJ. LJ is also from Minnesota. Our Minnesota cow country family, I think, outnumbers our Wisconsin family. Wisconsin better step it up a little bit, doggone it. I know how I can get the Wisconsin people motivated. I can tell them that because Minnesota is more loyal and more dedicated as part of the cow country family, that I'm going to become a Vikings fan. What do you think of that? Huh? What do you think of that there, Aaron Rodgers and all you other Packer people? You better step it up or I'm going to join the ranks of the Vikings and turn away. I'm going to pivot away from the Green Bay Packers, doggone it. You better pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Ha ha, yeah. Better do it. I forgot to do this. All right. Now we're officially in session. Let's see. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, share that. If it's okay with Bill, share that link, Susie, so they can see Bill's puppy, Nora. Yeah, that would be fun to see, Nora. If we have a link to Bill's site, that would be cool. That'd be really cool. So I totally lost track. 1, 2, 3. Did we get a vote on the hats? I think Bill from Minnesota voted 1, 2, 3. Were there any other votes that I missed as far as the hats we're supposed to send to Alex, Yana, and Tom over in the UK? Were there any other votes that I missed, or is Bill the only one that voted? Oh, wait a second. LJ put down 1 and 5. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. Okay, I see it now. So Bill put down 1, 2, 3. LJ put down number 1 and 5. Oh yeah, Susie did too. There we go. Now I'm scrolling up. I'm scrolling up now finally. And then Susie put down 1, 2, 3. So I think we have 2 votes for 1, 2, 3. And then we have an additional vote for 1 and 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we have, where is the other one? I missed it. Oh, 1 and 5. 1 and 5. 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 5. So it looks like 1 was picked the most. 1 and 2. Oh gosh. Hey, Susie, you're really good with organizing things in that. Would you look at the votes, please? If Susie and Sonny, SNS, if Susie and Sonny would go ahead and look at the votes as far as the hats, please, and then type in a summation on who got the most picks so that I can pick out the 3 hats, and then we'll give the other 2 away. If y'all would help me out, I would appreciate that. So let's find out who got the most votes. I'll pick out those 3 hats, and we don't have to designate them to one of the family members. We'll just send the 3 hats, and then Alex and Yana and Tom can pick the ones that they want out of the 3, if that makes sense. I don't want to assign the hat, and then Alex says, "Well, I wanted the gray one," or something like that. I don't want to cause any conflict. So, okay, so my leaders are gonna. Oh, cool. Corinne is saying give the red one to Alex. Corinne is saying, but I don't think that would be 1, 2, 3. So that's 1 vote for number 4 then. I don't think we had gotten another vote for number 4, did we? I'll let Susie and Sonny look at all the votes and then tell me what the 3 picks are so I can pull those out. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever you all pick is fine. Because again, this care package we're sending to the Askarov family in the UK is from all of us. So you pick the 3. The leaders can tell me what 3 got the most votes. I'll pull them out of here, and then I'll invite an opportunity during this live stream where 2 other people can win the other 2 hats that are remaining, if that makes sense. Okay. Susie, is that the final vote? And Candido typed it as well. Did the most votes come in for 1, 2, 3? I feel awful though, because Corinne is saying, let's send a red one to Alex. And she's probably right. Alex would probably like a red one, but I didn't pick a red one. And I don't think anyone else did either. So, okay, here's Susie's tally. Vote. 3 votes for 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 5 all got 2 votes. No one, isn't that interesting? Corinne is saying, let's give number 4, which is this one right here. Let's send this one to Alex. But Corinne is the only one that voted for it. And I said we would go by the preponderance of votes. So I hope Alex doesn't watch this video afterwards and say, Corinne was right. Corinne was right. I really would have liked the red one. Then I'm going to feel horrible. Yeah. But, oh well. Alex will just have to like what we send him. 2 votes for 2. 3 votes for 1. So Susie gave us a summation, and she said summation is we're going to send the black one, we're going to send the gray one, and we're going to send the white one. That's 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to set these to the side to go into the care package that's going to go to the Askarov family. So 1 for Alex, 1 for Tom, and 1 for Yana. And maybe they'll do some sort of a family photo thing for us so that we can post it on Facebook and you can see the Askarov family with the cow country hats. So I'll set these to the side so I don't end up allocating them in the wrong way. And then we've got left this red hat that Corinne, this red hat that Corinne thought would be a cool hat to send to Alex, and I don't disagree. And then this black and white one as well. I'll just kind of leave those right there. Okay. So let me give you some clues. Let me give you some clues on this unboxing. Oh, wait, Susie just wrote something. Susie just wrote something. And you know what? It's not a bad idea. Susie just wrote, send 4 hats. Because I said this already. There I am. I don't know all of Alex's family other than what he shared in the interview. And maybe it is smarter to send 4 hats, and that way there's 1 extra just in case. Who knows? Maybe the grandkids will wear it when they're with grandma and grandpa. It'll be a hat that they put on, like a make-believe hat, a fun hat. It'll be their cow country pirate hat that they can put on when they're at grandma and grandpa's house. And they can play games with those stickers and the other things that we're going to send them. Maybe that's a good idea. And I'm already hearing Corinne whispering in my ear saying, send the red one. So based on what Susie suggested and Corinne's heart of heart feeling that Alex would love this red one. I think he would love the red one. I'm going to take away the red one and replace it with another hat. All right. So this one's off the table now. This one's also going to go to the UK, and I will write in the note to Alex that Corinne thought that this would be a good pick for him, but it's ultimately up to them on which ones they pick. And maybe they'll swap them back and forth. Who knows, right? Okay, so we got to replace, let's see here. There's a different red one. What else? How about a white one? Let's see. A white one or a gray one? Let me grab a gray one. Oh, this is fun. Look at this one that Susie made. I hope you can see that in the shot. It's like this sparkly green lettering on this gray hat. It's really quite phenomenal. Really quite phenomenal. I love it. Okay, so these are our 3 hats now. And whoops, I just dropped that on Dr. Singer. He's going to try to claim workman's comp now. Okay, put that one there, that one there, that one there. There we go. These. Okay. Daggone it. Need a bigger box. All right. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. There we go. Okay. So these are the 3 hats that I have to offer you. So let me give you some clues. Let me give some clues on this box. And if you know the answer, once I get done, post it in the live chat. I'll let the moderating team judge who got the answer correct. And then it will be up to, I should probably text the answer to the moderators so they know what the correct answer is, shouldn't I? Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. You know what? That would be easier. Let me just do that. Hold on a second. All right, I'm going to text something to the moderating team real quick so that they know kind of the direction that I'm going with this. And then I'll throw the question out, and then they can judge it in the live chat. I usually would invite folks to text me or something like that, but I want to use a moderating team. So I'm going to text something to them real quick, and then they'll hopefully understand the direction I'm going with this. Hold on a second. Did anyone see Emma in the live chat? I know Emma is working today. Emma works as a pharmacist in a hospital in Florida. But I'll text it to Emma as well, just in case she's in the background, as she sometimes is listening in. So I just sent it to Emma. Now I need to send it to Susie in Minnesota. I just sent it to Susie in Minnesota. I know I'm pretty quick with texting, right? Ah, what a hoot. I didn't see Christine from Canada, but I'll send it to Christine as well, just in case she joins us. So she's got it. And then I have to send it to Sunny too. There we go. There's Sunny. Okay. Okay. So I just sent the sheet that I'm going to be drawing information from to the moderators that I just named. And we do have other moderators as well, but I don't think they're part of the live stream. And oftentimes they can't make it, like Bill and others. So I'm just going to send it to the moderators that are generally in the live streams and are specifically in the live stream today. Okay, so to give you clues on this box, and the moderators have that sheet now. I just sent it to them via text. They have that sheet now. And so the clues on the machine that we're going to be unboxing with relation to the maker and perhaps the model, or at least the history of that company, here are the significant dates. I'm going to give you the significant dates. And if the moderators want to jump in and kind of tickle the clues a little bit and give you a little bit more information, feed you a little bit more clues, that's up to them. This is going to be their contest. They're going to judge it. They're going to pick the winners for these 3 hats. And whoever jumps in with guesses, we might reward them. I'll leave that up to the moderating team. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the significant dates on the company that made this machine is 1872, 1689, and these are years. 1689, 1872, and what else? Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, and I'll give you one word, and this wasn't specifically sent to the moderators, but I'll give you one word that ties to this company. And it is not one word. It's actually 3 words. It's 3 words, not one word. The Northern Star. The Northern Star. So those are your 3 clues on the manufacturing origin of this machine that we're going to unbox. 1872, 1689, and the Northern Star. The Northern Star. So I'll let the moderators take it over. Type in your clues, your answers to these clues or whatever in the live chat, and then we'll see if we get any winners. If we don't get any winners, that's okay. I'll just put away these hats, or maybe the moderators will say, hey, no one got the clues. No one got the clues, Scott. No one got the clues. So can we have them text you for the remaining hats? Or maybe one person got the clue, and you know what I'm saying? I'll leave it up to the moderators. If they want me to give away all 3 of these hats, and we can do it through these clues as far as the origin of the company, and if we don't get enough people that nail it, then we can always say, okay, text Scott now, and the first 2 texts that come through, the first 2 text messages that come through, let's say we get one winner and they want the red one, and we have 2 hats left. Then if the moderators say text Scott right now, and the first 2 that come through get the other 2 hats, then we'll go and do it that way. I don't care. I just want to get Susie's hats out to everyone because they're amazing. They should go everywhere. We should send one to the White House and see if President Biden will wear it. You never know. So, all right. So, at any rate, moderators are in charge now. I'm going to go ahead and move these hats out of the way. Take a good look at them, because if you're one of the winners that the moderators declare, then you've got to, in rank order, whoever's the first winner, second winner, third winner, gets to pick one of these hats, the red one, the black and white one, or the gray one with the cool sparkly green lettering, blah, 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 blah. So, all right. Let me see. I think I have another text message maybe. Oh, it's from Emma. Emma writes, let's see. Emma writes, very interesting history, survival of their business. Yeah. Because I sent it to Emma as well. The little cheat sheet with the dates and blah, 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 and all that. So anyway, let me move these hats out of the way again. We've got a red one, black and white, and a gray one with green lettering. So I'll leave it up to the moderators to decide how they want to handle this contest. If anyone nails the origin maker of this machine, great. Otherwise, we'll do it another way, or we won't do it at all. It's up to them. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's Saturday. I ramble, don't I? I ramble a lot on Saturdays. Okay. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Set them over to the side. And let's get going on this unboxing. Let's get going on this unboxing here. Oh, I'm knocking things over. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. I got this as a gift from a wonderful lady down in Illinois that I became acquainted with and followed what we were doing on Facebook and that. Isn't this quite spectacular? I think it's not old. It's not vintage. It's definitely not antique. But it's heavier than can be. It's just crazy how heavy it is. Yeah. I'm showing it to you because I just knocked it over. All right. Don't break anything, Scott. You'll have to pay for it. That's what Dr. Singer just said. If you break it, Scott, you got to pay for it. Okay. So I'm going to start to get into this box. It looks like it's two halves the way that the owner, Cora, put it together. I'll kind of turn it around and show you the different angles of this box. Let me angle this down a little bit. And I did hear something rattling in here. I hope there's nothing that got damaged in shipping. And it looks like she sent it by, this came by UPS Ground. And I get asked that all the time from people. What do you recommend as far as the shipping carrier? Do you recommend USPS? Do you recommend FedEx? Do you recommend UPS? I really don't recommend any one specific one, although I use USPS almost exclusively, even for international shipping. But I get machines at the workshop from all different carriers. UPS, FedEx, I get them sometimes from, what is that European one? I can't think of it right now, but I get them from all over the place. Okay, so I'm deciding how to tackle this. I think I'll do it like this. You can just, if you listen real carefully, you can hear a little something rattling around in there. I don't know what it is. It sounds like plastic. Maybe one of the attachments or something like that came loose. Okay, so I'm going to work on opening up the top, at least to what I think is the top. No guarantee. I'll work on opening up the top, seeing whether or not this is the correct end to open. Otherwise, we'll open another end. Okay, so a little bit of a bubble type filler. These are actually really kind of cool looking. They almost look like a diamond from this angle, the way the light's reflecting them. But it's always good to fill space when you're shipping something. Don't allow it to be able to shift around. I'm in the process right now of packing that 130-6 that's going out to Oregon. And it's always a little bit more of a challenge when you pack a machine that goes inside of a case, because you really have to pack it the equivalent of 3 times. You have to pack the machine so that it's tightly within the case. Then you have to safeguard the case. And then you have to create a field of protection around the case that's inside of the plastic tote that I use. So it makes it a little bit more challenging, but you do what you got to do. especially when it's traveling all the way from Okano, Wisconsin out to Oregon. It's got to be what, almost, I have no idea what the distance is. This particular customer lives in an area called Phoenix, Oregon. Phoenix, Oregon. It almost sounds like it belongs in Arizona, but Phoenix, Oregon is where this family is, and it's going from Oconto to Phoenix, Oregon. So if anyone wants to Google the distance from Oconto, Wisconsin to Phoenix, Oregon, am I saying that right, or is it Oregon? Oregon? Potatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. I have no idea. I'm probably going to get nasty notes from other Oregon people saying it's not pronounced like that, Scott. Are you like just off of the turnip truck? I don't like turnips. I don't eat them at all. But at any rate, I digress. So at any rate, yeah, if anyone wants to Google that for fun, distance from Phoenix, Oregon, or Oregon, whichever it is, I have no idea, to Oconto, Wisconsin, vice versa. Yeah, I'd be curious. Got to be 2,000 to 3,000 miles, right? It's a good distance. Good distance. Very, very good distance. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, I think I've got a handle on this now. I think I've got a handle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it down the side, and then I'm going to take out the core box that's on the inside. If you can kind of see that in the shot right there. This appears to be like a box within a box. So I'll cut down the outside box carefully, pull this one out, and then we'll work on this one right here. All right. And again, I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence, but if you work with an X-Acto knife to cut something open, just really be careful about setting the depth of how deep it's going to cut so that you don't damage something inside of the box that you're opening. I usually go much more shallow than I need to go, and then if I have to cut it a second time, I do that rather than damaging something. There we go. Now we can see kind of what we're working with. Whoops, I don't want to knock the camera over. Catch it with the edge of the box. Okay, good. We're still stable. All right, let me set this here. So more of this bubble type wrap on the inside as well to try to safeguard this box. All right, set that to the side. And we're going to be getting at this pretty quick based on how it's packed. We got a little bit of cushion right here on top of it. And there we have the case right there for this machine. And I'll tell you this, and I haven't looked at the live chat, so I don't know what's going on as far as people guessing based on the clues that I provided, or maybe the moderating leadership team provided additional clues as far as the origin of this machine. But I can tell you that I've never, ever shown one of these machines, this specific machine. I've never shown this specific machine on this channel before. It's the very first time. So it's not like we have a baseline of having seen this before. In fact, when Cora reached out about this machine, again, Cora is out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I had to look it up to see exactly what the machine looked like. She sent some pictures, but then I did some additional digging to look it up because I've never had one of these on the workbench before. And isn't that the wonder? Isn't that the wonder of vintage sewing machines? There were so many of them made, you know, all of the different flavors of the Japanese clones and a variety of other makers made a lot of different flavors of sewing machines that even with someone with the depth of my experience of over 2 decades, handling thousands of machines from around the world, there are certain machines that I've never seen. There are certain machines I've never seen. I've never touched certain machines. And it just goes to show you how vast the manufacturing of vintage sewing machines was, dating all the way back from the 1700s all the way forward. It's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing and mind-blowing, isn't it? I'm looking on the side of this box. I'll have to ask Cora if she wants it back. It has the manufacturer's name on the side of this box. So I don't know if this is the original box or not. I'll have to look around and see if I can see. And I don't think you can see that in the shot, thankfully, or that kind of give it away, wouldn't it? But the manufacturer's name is actually on this box. Hopefully she doesn't want it back. I don't think she does, because it'll make my packing process much more difficult if I have to somehow send this box back to her. So I don't think that's going to happen. All right, let me take this out as well. And before I pull it out of this box, I'll take a quick look at the chat to see what's happening as far as our little impromptu contest. Okay, let me stop right there for a second. All right, let me look at the chat. LJ is very observant. LJ caught a glimpse of the box and said, it says Sweden on it. It says Sweden. It says Sweden. All right, let's see what else we have. And if anyone, I didn't read all of the chat. I didn't read all of the chat, but it looks like someone was offered a hat, and kind of like me, I don't wear hats all the time. I'm not a huge hat wearer, where some people wear a hat like every day, faithfully. And some people wear hats at work too. Even if you don't wear a hat, consider accepting the gift of a cow country hat. And I'll tell you why. Because like the pictures that we got from Ria from Holland, unlike back in the day where hats were a major part of the fashion for women, women had all different types of hats that they wore going from the 1920s forward. Hats were a big deal to women. Contemporarily, women do not wear hats nearly as much as they did back in the day. But you can still have a cow country hat and maybe display it on a shelf, kind of like Ria did with her machine over in Holland, or put it on a table in your sewing area as a reminder that you're a part of the cow country family. And it kind of strikes up a conversation with people as well when they come to visit you, where they have a chance to, ask, well, what's this cow country thing? What's that all about? And it gives you kind of an icebreaker to talk to them a little bit about, what we do on the channel, what your participation is, why you enjoy it, why you have fun, why it kind of sparks your interest even to a greater level in, vintage sewing machines, whatever you wanted to share. Or you can just say, hey, it's a cool hat. Susie from Minnesota made it, and I got it for free. How cool is that? What do you get for free these days? So I'll leave that up to the moderators, to work with those that were declared winners. But let me strongly encourage you to consider accepting a hat, even if you don't wear hats, so you can display it prominently in your sewing space or somewhere else as a conversation piece and as a remembrance that you're part of a very unique family of people that share the love and passion of vintage sewing machines. So with all of that blah, 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 I'll leave it up to Susie and or Sunny or one of the other leaders after the live stream, to send me a text message of who they declared the winners were. And then it'll be up to the winners to send me a text message with your mailing information so I can send you one of Susie's hats. Okay. So I'm going to leave it at that. But again, please consider accepting the gift of a hat, because even if you don't wear hats, there's so many other ways to enjoy that hat that Susie thoughtfully provided to our family at Cow Country. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So I'm going to pull this out now. And it is ridiculously heavy for such a small, compact little machine. I'll show you inside of the box as well. So some additional padding on the bottom. I would have recommended, and I did give Cora, the link to the Cow Country packing videos that we have. All of the different packing videos that I've done that show our packing process, kind of what we do, our thing. And the only thing I would have recommended, and it's not a criticism, of Cora, but it is a commitment to us always trying to do things better, is I would have recommended that this be stretch wrapped and this be bubble wrapped individually to make it a single unit, so that this cover that is kind of jiggly would have been anchored to the machine on the inside, and then it would be cocooned in bubble wrap, because right now it only has the exterior padding and there's nothing to safeguard the machine at the core of the packing material. So if you ship something like this, take the time, put stretch wrap around it so it anchors it as a single unit. You can go around it this way as well. And then you can go around it with bubble wrap, anchor that down with stretch wrap like you've seen me do in my packing videos. And then over the top of that stretch wrap, go over it with packing tape to glue all that together, in a sense, to make it a single unit. And that way it'll keep this even safer when it makes that travel distance from, wherever it's coming from. In this case, it came from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to the workshop. Maybe another machine similar to this will travel much, even a further distance, like from Phoenix, Oregon, who knows? So I think it was LJ that had noticed on the box it said Sweden. And it also says this as well, Husqvarna. Now I'm kind of curious where it said Sweden. It must have said it's, there, right on the top. I see it now. Yeah, made in Sweden. And you saw that recent machine that I presented to you that was it came in from my quilting group friends out in Crivets, that more contemporary machine. And that one was made by Elna, or was made for Elna, I should say, I think it was. And on the front of it, it said Swiss design. Well, this one actually did come directly from Sweden, so it wasn't a matter of being made in another country and then they're saying it's designed after the original machines. This one was actually from Sweden in the day. And this box is incredibly heavy, very, very heavy duty. And there's our royal crest right there too. Most of you, if you know the history of the Husqvarna sewing machine company, you know that it came by way of a king's decree in the 1600s. And that was the significance of that 1600 date that the moderators and you were talking about probably in the live chat is, what's this about 1600 something or whatever? That's really the inception of the Husqvarna company. Was all the way back in the 1600s when it was decreed by King Ludwig, I think it was, that ended up making it a drilling and grinding plant where for a very long time they made musket barrels. And then once that kind of lost interest, they said, well, let's make something else. And they decided around 1872 to start making sewing machines. And the first sewing machine they made was the Northern Star. So that kind of draws all those little clues together that the leadership team and I were kind of putting out there to you as far as guessing the origin of this company. Now you know. Yep. So now we're going to look at the machine itself, which again, I've never had one of these machines on the workbench before, ever. Yeah, you know what? Corinne is right. Corinne is right. And they actually changed the name of the spelling of Husqvarna as well. They actually changed the spelling where they took away the Q. So Corinne is absolutely spot on that it really, I pronounce it differently sometimes when I'm doing live streams and that because I have so much running through my head. But this is where I say, sometimes a teacher, always a student. I love when people chime in on things that are happening on a live stream, and it helps us to be even better equipped when we step out there as far as getting it right. Because yeah, if you Google Husqvarna, you'll see that it is like Corinne. It was Corinne, right? Yeah, Corinne. Oh, Corinne is in Sweden. Corinne is in Sweden. So yeah, you should know. I'm curious, and you may have already shared this, but Corinne, with you being in Sweden, have you visited the Husqvarna museum? Have you gone to the museum and actually walked the museum and looked at? They apparently have a Northern Star on display there. It's a very rare, very, very hard to find machine. So I'm curious, maybe Corinne, living in Sweden, has visited that museum. That's on my bucket list. I would love to be able to go to Sweden. And number one, I'd love to go to Sweden and meet Corinne, wouldn't you? We can meet Corinne, and then Corinne and our little party of people, if we travel together, we can all then go to the Husqvarna museum and look at all the cool things they have on display, which is well beyond sewing machines. They've got motorcycles, and the list goes on and on and on and on of different things that they have on display there at that museum. I know this because our friend Hans, who lives in Norway right next door, has been to that museum, and he shared some pictures with me of his visit there. But boy, would that be a neat place to visit, wouldn't it? I'm going to look at the live chat and see if Corinne has been to the museum. I'm guessing she has been. Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, Corinne is not Scandinavian, although that's a great guess. Corinne is definitely Swedish. And Corinne, thank you. That's so kind of you. Corinne basically just said, we've got a guest room. And Scott, if you make the trip, we'll put you up. So I really appreciate that because I would imagine that lodging in Sweden has got to be very costly. So that would really help my budget a lot. When I can make that trip there, no. And yeah, I would be so grateful for your hospitality. That would be super cool. And yeah, wow, nice. Now it's actually just moved up on my bucket list quite a bit. So very cool, very cool. Oh yeah, chainsaws too. Yeah, a lot of power tools. A lot of power tools. Husqvarna makes a lot of amazing power tools, don't they? Fabulous power tools. Well, speaking of Husqvarna, which is different than Husqvarna, notice like Corinne rightfully pointed out, a lot of people will say Husqvarna, but it's Husqvarna. And like I said, with the new spelling, Corinne, would you do me a big favor? Would you type the proper spelling of Husqvarna where they drop the Q? Because when we generally spell Husqvarna, we type something like Husqvarna, Husqvarna, but that's not how they spell it anymore. It's spelled differently. Am I correct? I believe I'm correct. I read that before this live stream. And Corinne, living in Sweden, can type the proper spelling of that birthplace of this incredible company in the live chat for us and share any other knowledge that she has about that region of the world. But it sounds like she hasn't been to the museum in a long time, over a decade. And I bet you it's changed. I bet you they have new new stuff to look at there as well, don't they? So even more of a motivation to make the trip when the time is right to be able to check out that museum. And of course, if I make that trip over to Sweden and I have the privilege and honor of meeting Corinne and her family and have the honor of visiting this incredible museum, I'm going to shoot video. Yeah, I am. I'm going to shoot video and shoot video and shoot video and share it on this channel with all of you, documenting my visit. Just as I had talked about doing if I went to see Hans over in Norway, I would shoot so much video. You think the live streams run long now? This would be like make a potty break, get a cold drink and a snack, if not a pizza, and that's how long that live stream video thing would run. If I make a trip over to Norway or over to Sweden, it's going to run a long time. You might have to do it in different parts with intermissions or something like that. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be really long. Oh my gosh, it's going to be long. Yeah, Finland too, absolutely. Yeah, Finland and Denmark and Norway. And oh my goodness, there's so many places to see over there, isn't there? Yeah, get back to us on that. I think it's included in, I think the spelling is included in what I sent to the leadership team. I believe it is. Let me double check. Let me Google it. I'll Google it real quick. Hold on a second. History of Husqvarna Sewing Machine Company.
According to Husqvarna Viking, in 1689 a Royal Arms factory was born in Husqvarna, Sweden. Almost 2 centuries later in 1872, facing declining demand for firearms, the artisans of the factory were inspired to make a more peaceful product, sewing machines.
So here, when you Google history of Husqvarna Sewing Machine Factory, they're replacing the Q with a K. And maybe this is right and maybe it's wrong. I would trust Corinne even over Google. I would trust Corinne over Google because she lives there. Hello. But this is what they show on the summary when you look it up. So they're basically taking their, at least on here, but again, I'm gonna lean towards Corinne, whatever she tells us. They're taking away the Q and they're replacing the Q with a K. I have no idea why. Yeah, maybe someone else knows why they took the Q away and they put the K. Because even on the official Husqvarna sewing machine site, they're still using the Q. Are they rebels? Do we need to have Corinne send them a note from Sweden saying, hey, you guys are the corporation. You're supposed to get it right. You should get it right. Get rid of the Q and put in a K. Yeah. Somebody should write Husqvarna corporate people. Tell them to get it right. Yeah. Yeah, even Ismax is using a Q instead of a K. Any rate, let's take a look at this machine while Corinne is, as our resident in Sweden, is sharing her knowledge with us about that region, sharing knowledge about whatever she wants to share with us. Because proximity has a lot of weight in my book. You know, living in Sweden, what a great resource, what a great insight she can give us to that region that she calls home, right? Yeah, cool. All right. Okay. So let's take a look at this machine that I've never had in the workshop before. that was dramatic. I've got it facing the wrong way. Hold on a second. Oh, I see what was rattling now. We've got pressure feet. And again, if you're going to mail a machine, I really don't need all the pressure feet if you're going to mail a machine to the workshop. But if you're going to send extra pressure feet, Snap-on or otherwise, just put them in a Ziploc bag and then wrap it with stretch wrap or something like that to keep it contained. That way it doesn't. You saw recently we opened that other machine that's going to be acting as a parts machine for the machines that came from Salt Lake City, Utah. Remember that one? I showed that to you. It's a FOF machine. And we had parts and needles and everything else bouncing around the box. I did give that feedback to the seller, by the way. But yeah, just compartmentalize everything so that it's not floating around inside of the box. That would be the best option. Maybe I had it facing the right way. No, I have it facing the correct way now. So this is why my title said something about Orange Sherbert. You may have seen that title and go, what the heck is he talking about? Why is he talking about Orange Sherbert? Because the color of this machine is so unique. It's such a unique color. It really has a poppiness to it, doesn't it? And if you can see it in the shot, it may be concealed a little bit by this. But can anyone see in the shot? I'm kind of looking close now. You really can't see it. Does anyone want to guess what model this is? What model do you think this is by Husqvarna? What model do you think it is? Any guesses? Any guesses on model? I'll leave it there for a second and kind of look at the chat. Oh, and good morning to, I think that the second entry from the bottom, I think, is that Becky? Do I have the name correct? I think I'm correct. Our Reber Was, WASS, is that Becky? I think that's Becky, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's a beautiful color and design, isn't it? It makes me think of ice cream. Maybe I'm the only one that's part of this live stream, or the hundreds of people only hours after we post this, as I've shared with the leaders, I send them a summary. Hundreds of people will watch this within a short time after it becomes a video after this live stream. Am I alone? Is there anyone else that looks at this machine and right away wants a bowl of ice cream like Orange Sherbert? I'm probably the only one, right? Am I the only one that thinks of Orange Sherbert straight away with regard to this? I hope not. Maybe I am. Well, at least I have one other person that says, yeah, I could use a bowl of Orange Sherbert ice cream right about now. I could use Orange Sherbert ice cream right about now. Thank goodness I'm not alone. Thank goodness. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know what? Creamsicle. That's what I was trying to think of. Emma's right. Creamsicle. With the white and the orange. Remember the orange? It had like an orange hard coating on the outside, and then you bit past that, and then the white ice cream is on the inside. Yeah, Emma nailed it. A creamsicle. You used to get them from the ice cream. Did anyone else have the ice cream wagons that would drive through their neighborhood playing that music? And then you'd run out there and you'd pay a ridiculous price to get a little ice cream bar or something like that. Did anyone else have those as kids? You would listen for that music in the summertime, and then you would run out there because you knew the ice cream man, ice cream person had their little truck of delightful, cold, yummy things that sometimes mom or dad would give you money for. Sometimes you just had to watch the truck drive by. Talk about needing counseling. Yeah, anyone that had to see that truck drive by too many times and didn't get ice cream, they're probably in counseling right now. They're in counseling right now. They are. Absolutely. Yeah. Creamsicles. Yes. Oh, Robin had a great guess. I just kind of looked up at the chat, and Robin was saying it's from the 3000 series. And specifically, she thinks it's a model 3600. Does anyone else have a different guess? Or do you agree with Robin? Do you think it might be a model 3600? Because I'm looking at the screen on my laptop and it's right here on the front, but it's concealed kind of by this right now. This is kind of blocking it. And you're probably, all the rest of you are saying, get that out of the way. Get that out of the way so we can see the machine, for goodness sakes. Come on. Yeah. And Robin is knowledgeable. But all of you, don't sell yourself short. That's the beauty of our classroom. The beauty of our classroom is that Robin or Susie or Christine or Emma or LJ or anyone else can feel confident about stepping forward. If you've ever been in a business, if you've ever been in a business or you've been in a classroom somewhere else where the teacher wants to try to impress you on how smart they are, and they basically mute you. If you try to share your knowledge, they mute you, they shut you down, they close the door on you being able to do that. That's the opposite of here. We're all fellow teachers, and Robin is one of those fellow teachers, as are all the rest of you. And many of you are sitting in the shadows right now, not stepping into the live chat yet. That's okay. But at some point, you might decide to step into the live chat. Know that you're not going to be judged if you get the answer wrong. Know that you're not going to be criticized like you are in some of the Facebook groups, on some of the blogs, where you've got these savant people that think that they got all the answers and everyone else is stupid. That's not us. That's not Cow Country. Cow Country is, we're all fellow teachers. We're all fellow students. And thank goodness for people that are willing to step forward, like Robin and others, and share their knowledge. We learn from each other. Why shouldn't we? Doggone it. And then take that knowledge out to all corners of the earth, whether you live in Sweden or whether you live in New York or whether you live in California, wherever you live, Minnesota. Share that knowledge and then take it to all the corners of the earth so that others will learn and benefit from. And who knows, once they find out it came from the Cow Country classroom and you mention that to them, maybe they'll join us on a live stream. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. All right. So let me see if I can move some of this stuff. And this is actually, isn't this cool? I can honestly say I've never seen a foot controller exactly like this before. This is actually the foot controller that was blocking you from being able to see the front of the machine. And right now, I'm intentionally blocking you from seeing the front of the machine just to be a pickle. And now all of you can type in the live chat, Scott, move out of the way, please. Move out of the way. Move out of the way so we can see the unobstructed view of this really unique sewing machine that Cora sent us from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I'm not going to move until you guys type move. And you can say move, please. That would be nice. Move, 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 move. Come on, you guys. Get some lather up here. Scott, move it or lose it. That's probably what my New Yorkers will say. My New Yorkers will say, all right, Scott, move it or lose it. Move it or lose it, buddy. Move it or lose it. All right. So I'm going to move out of the way now so you can see this machine from the front without this huge foot controller in the way. Yeah. And then here's our extension bed. I'm going to pull our extension bed out as well. It's like right behind here. Nice extended workspace for the machine as well. Very heavy gauge plastic. Little support foot as well. Tucks away. And this is kind of, a lot of makers use similar things, but Husqvarna is really known for having this support foot on the end, aren't they? Oftentimes these little tips will disappear. They'll crack, they'll fall off. And then you can always use an eraser or something like that to stick on the end of them. Nice workspace. Very, very nice workspace. All right, so I'm going to move out of the way, just let you admire this machine for a moment. I'll move this accessory tray out as well. And that's kind of what we heard rattling around in the box. Again, if you're going to be sending something like this, that's fine and dandy. But stretch wrap this and even put a little bit of bubble wrap in there to keep these things from banging around, and then cocoon it with stretch wrap so that all of this stuff is safeguarded, especially something as essential and fragile as this bobbin case. Yeah, we want to definitely keep the bobbin case safe, right? It looks like we've got an original Husqvarna needle as well that's in the mix of things here. Other attachments. Looks like a free motion quilting foot as well, which interestingly, a lot of the free motion quilt attachments that I've shown you are all metal, but this one is actually plastic. Nothing wrong with that. I think all of us lean more towards metal, but at the same time, if this works, it works. We'll probably see if we can give it a try once we get this machine working. Cool plastic bobbin as well. Some more Husqvarna. Oh no, these are Schmetz needles. I'm sorry. These are Schmetz needles, ballpoint needles that are in the mix of things as well with this stuff. Let me get this closer to the camera so you can see it more clearly. And I'll turn it this way so you can see there's a little hidden area over here as well. Actually, I can just open it up. That's probably easier, where you can conceal and hide all of the extra bobbins you have too. Whole assortment of bobbins that you can draw from depending on the project that you're working with. So real nice. And I don't know what I would call this a caddy. It's kind of a caddy, but do you have another name for this that you would call it? This little thing that slides against the free arm, and you keep all of your goodies in here, along with bubble gum, of course. There's room for bubble gum probably right along here, maybe a couple of Tootsie Rolls. You need to have something on a project break, and where better to keep it than right in this thing, whatever you would call it. Again, I would probably call it a caddy, but there's probably a better name for it than a caddy, isn't there? But it's a great way to keep everything convenient and accessible to the machine as you're working with it. Okay, you kind of move this over this way. You can get a better look at this machine. Along with the extension bed, I'll kind of put that over here. So I keep it, that's kind of way out of view. Let's do this. Do this. You can still see the machine. Yeah, you can still see it. Extension bed. This accessory thingy, whatty-collie, and this mammoth size foot controller. I've shown you foot controllers before with the FOF machines. You've seen the FOF machine foot controllers before. The big bus pedals. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Oh, where is it? There it is. So these are the huge foot controllers that come with the vintage FOF machines. It's a big pedal. It's like a bus pedal, isn't it? It's quite large, quite large. But if you compare it to this foot controller, it almost looks like for a toddler or something, doesn't it? It's a big foot controller. This is much bigger. Even if you have big feet like I do, I wear between a size 12 and a size 13, depending on the shoes. This will fit my entire foot very nicely. This one, my toes kind of go over the top of it a little bit. But it gives you an idea of how the different makers would change the style and the designs of their foot controllers to accommodate their customers accordingly. Yeah. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Well, let me see if I can bring the camera down and we'll get a little bit closer to this machine, kind of check it out, get an initial glimpse of it. And again, never having had one of these machines before on the workbench, I'm more of a student right now as I'm looking at this machine than I am a teacher. Once I present this in the live stream, I will have a great level of intimacy with this machine, and I'll be able to talk about it much more intelligently and show you different things on the machine. Right now, it's kind of like we're seeing it for the first time. Isn't that fun? You know, a lot of you are new to sewing. Some of you are fairly new to vintage, and you always look at me and you look at the leadership team with their vast experience, and you go, "Oh my gosh, I'm such a novice. I'm such a baby in vintage space." But we all experience that when we encounter a machine that we've never had contact with before. You know what I mean? We can all look at this machine with some degree of wonder and say, I wonder what it's going to sound like when it runs. I wonder how it's going to sew. I wonder what the stitches are going to look like. Oftentimes, I'll have that experience already, and I'll be able to then share it with you. I don't have that experience with this model 3600. And Robin was spot on, by the way. Robin was spot on with her guess, her educated guess, that it was a model 3600. And 1970 sounds about right. There were a lot of machines like this coming out of Husqvarna in the 1970s. A lot of machines, including a lot from the Colormatic series as well. But this is really quite an amazing machine, isn't it? Let me see if I can move the camera. I hope I don't disconnect us. Move the camera, get us a little bit more close to this machine so you can see and experience it with me as a brand new machine to this channel, a machine that I've never presented to you before. So we're looking at the control knobs on the front, all kinds of control knobs here. And I'm only spitballing here because I don't have any intimacy with this machine yet, but it looks like this far right control is going to give us buttonhole options. It's going to give us a couple of pattern options, including the 3-point zigzag. It's going to give us zigzag options as well. This, I would guess, and I'm only guessing, this is going to be our stitch length, which also ties into the buttonholes as well because they have another buttonhole image over here. And then I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, I'm guessing that this is going to be our pattern selector here. That's probably going to be our pattern selector over there. I'm going to move this big extension bed real quick and get you even closer to the machine. And maybe with you looking at these controls with me, maybe you'll have a different take on what you think these are. I'll show you underneath as well. You can kind of see some of these patterns here that are on the bottom of here. Looks like a blind hem, another type of pattern there, and then a 3-point zigzag as well. And there is an instruction manual. There is an instruction manual online for this model 3600, which if the owner doesn't have one, if Cora doesn't have one, I'll probably purchase one for her because this machine not being as common as a lot of the Husqvarnas, it's not a Type 21, it's not a 19, it's not a 19 special, it's not it's not a 21E like we see a lot of. This is a much more uncommon machine. I think a manual would be essential with this machine. Don't you agree? I think a manual would be absolutely essential with this machine. Then we've got this center control here, which I was kind of guessing is going to be geared towards stitch length. But again, I don't know that for sure. I think this is going to be our stitch length controller right there. Then I think this is going to be our pattern selector over here. But this color really is fabulous, isn't it? Isn't this color fabulous? Let's take a look in the raceway. Look at, they even goofed around with the color in the raceway too. This retainer plate that holds the hook in place. And yes, this has a floating hook, just like the earlier models from the 1940s and 50s that Husqvarna would have put out. If you're not familiar with this, you see how I'm wiggling that? If you're not familiar with that, that actually is going to be what's called the jam-free raceway. This is the jam-free raceway, where this hook, while it's spinning and sewing, it can move left and right, it can move up and down, which allows a much heavier thread to pass through here without getting jammed. And that's why the Swedish referred to it as the jam-free raceway. A very unique design where instead of the rotary hook being in a fixed position where it spins, but it's not able to have mobility up or down or left or right, the Swedish said, why? Why would it be in a fixed position? Why can't we let it rotate in a rotary style, but still have some mobility up and down and left and right, so that the thread can pass through the raceway in the sewing process more freely without getting jammed up, as it oftentimes does. The Swedish are so smart. They're so smart. They came up with a very unique design. And then obviously this is going to be our feed dog drop right here, and it gives us darning options as well. This little button area right over here. Yeah. Listen to that quality. I'm also curious if that's going to be aluminum or metal. So this is going to be aluminum. That's definitely not, that does not feel, well, maybe that's not aluminum. Now that I'm looking at it more closely, that's going to be some sort of a resin, some sort of a polymer. I don't think that's metal. It's not metal or aluminum. I think that's going to be a resin, but it sure sounds like metal, doesn't it? And it's cold. It's cold like metal too. I'm going to leave that open right now as far as to our path of discovery with this model 3600. I can't tell, as close as I am to this machine, I can't tell if that is an aluminum alloy, a cast alloy, or if that's a plastic. I want to say it's going to be, I'm leaning more towards it being cast because of how cold it is. If I take my hand off of there real quick, get a temp on there. Plastic doesn't generally get as cold as metal. Getting about 59.7 degrees. I'm leaning towards some sort of a cast alloy, cast aluminum, or some other cast metal. I would be more inclined towards that than what I said initially, where I thought maybe it was a plastic. I think it's a metal. It's feeling like metal. It's very cold. But this handle up here obviously is plastic, as are these knobs are plastic. This facing part here for these control knobs is plastic as well. But again, I'm seeing this machine up close for the first time, just like you. So I'm not going to say that I'm not the authority on this model 3600. Someone else wants to do some quick research and confirm my suspicions that this is a cast aluminum, probably. Feels like it's metal for sure. That would be cool. But there's our model right there, right on the front of here, which thankfully was covered up by the foot controller, so we created a little bit more suspense, even though Robin was spot on with guessing the model number itself. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a craving for ice cream right about now. Definitely getting a craving for ice cream. There I go, knocking my magnifying glass over again. The back is loose. I know the owner had this open because they were looking at some of the gears on the inside, which are plastic or they're polymer. There's our faceplate, and we're going to have to service this machine, and I'm going to have to repair the machine from the back because this is not a pop-open type faceplate like a lot of the Husqvarnas are. Turn this around now and look at the back of the machine. Curious to take this plate off so we can look at the inside, aren't you? Let's take that plate off real quick and see if we can look at the inside. Looks like we got a couple of screws that we should be able to take out to access the back of the machine. And this plate on the back here for sure is plastic. I can feel that. It's much warmer than the free arm and the other body parts of the machine. It's off camera a little bit. Let me back up the camera a little bit so I want you to be able to see what I'm doing as I'm doing it so we can experience this together. There we go. That's better. Yeah, these screws are totally loose. I know Cora was back here looking at the gear that she thinks is damaged. Yeah. So if you have a machine like this, number one, boy, are we envious of you. Number two, there's going to be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that hold this plate on the back. Total of 6, I believe. Now, see, you always have to be mindful when you're taking screws out. Look how much longer this one is than these other 3 you already took out. So you make a mental note when you're taking them out as far as which one's going to be longer, right? Which one's going to be longer? This one that we just took out that goes all the way through the free arm. Down here, adjacent to the free arm, is going to be our long screw. The other ones so far are all uniform in length with the exception of this one right here. And it looks like we have one more screw to take out, and then we should be able to remove this entire panel on the back. Now, this is adjacent to the free arm as well. I wonder if this one is going to be long like the other one that we just took out. And it is. So the two, if you're working with one of these and you get turned around like I do sometimes, remember that the 2 super long bolts are going to be adjacent to the free arm as you take your panel off. The other 4, one right there, one right there, one right there, one right there, are going to be the shorter screws. And it looks like we are missing a screw, aren't we? We're missing a screw or a bolt. I'll have to get a replacement for Cora because we've got a total of 4 holes for the shorter type bolts, and we only have 3 of them. So one of them may have been left inadvertently back in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Once our owner has a chance to see this unboxing, maybe she can go ahead and send me that bolt. All right, we should be able to get this off now, huh? Yeah, there we go. You know, it's so tricky working with different materials in a cold workshop. I'm second guessing myself now. Listen to the sound of this. This is also a tricky alloy material that it almost gave me the impression that it might be plastic, but this is definitely sounding. This is also sounding like metal, isn't it? But again, it's not going to have magnetic properties. Where's my magnet? It doesn't have magnetic properties. So one would assume it's going to be aluminum. I doubt very much if it's going to be magnesium. But it just goes to show you when you're experiencing something for the first time, how you can go down a certain path and have some level of confidence that you're right. And then as you experience it more and you spend more time with that, all of a sudden your eyes open up and you go, that's not plastic, that's metal. Definitely, I mean, it's not traditional metal that would have a magnetism to it, but it's definitely metal. Yeah. It's fun learning new things, isn't it? It's fun experiencing new things. And I'll show you the plate as well. And you're going to see that you'll have an opportunity to help me out here because we don't have an amperage rating on the back of this nomenclature plate. We've got the, where is it? We've got the, oh, yes, it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Now I'm seeing it. I didn't see that right away. This is going to be a 0.6 amp motor, a 0.6 amp motor, which is going to be quite a bit smaller than the green machines that we oftentimes see on this channel. It's going to be quite a bit smaller. It's going to be less than half the power. Less than half the power of the traditional green machines like the 21As. It's even going to be a smaller motor than some of our 1 amp models, like you'll see in the 21E class and the 19E class as well. Sometimes will come with a 1 amp motor. This is going to come with a 0.6 amp motor. But again, it's a Swedish motor. So it's going to have it's probably going to have more than enough power for us, isn't it? It's going to have more than enough power. Yeah. Much smaller light bulb. Oftentimes our sewing machines will come with a 25 watt light bulb, sometimes a 15 watt light bulb. This one is going to be rated for a 10 watt light bulb max. So you don't want to put a bulb in here that's too large or it could cause a problem with the wiring. It would draw too much electricity in, and it could cause damage to the lighting or the lighting mount itself, because that's a real delicate copper, isn't it? Yeah. It's important we read these nomenclature plates. They tell us a lot of information, don't they? They tell us a lot of information that's essential to operating the machine safely. Yeah. Now we get a chance to look at the guts of the machine a little bit, don't we? Set this back here so it doesn't fall off the table. I'm going to ask our pirate to kind of hold on to it. There he goes. So yeah, now we're kind of looking at the inside here of this machine. And it looks like, I'm going to look at this again. It looks like my guess on the control knobs may be incorrect. I guess that the control knob on the far right side had certain pattern stitches on it. So it's a pattern function knob. And this is the plastic piece that Cora was concerned about maybe being damaged. I'm not readily seeing any damage on it right here, but I didn't rotate it all the way around to look at all the teeth on here to see if we have any teeth that are busted off. And I don't want to force it either with the machine being fairly cold now. Belt looks like it's in fairly good shape. This is our tensioner for the belt right here. You can slide this in or pull it out so you can have better tension on this long belt that's coming off of the balance wheel. Looks like a single, nope, there's another belt down here that's going to go from the bobbin winding assembly, just like on the other green machines. A shorter belt that's going to go from the motor output pulley off to the bobbin winding assembly. So there is some commonality even in this later model by Husqvarna in comparison to the earlier models that came out in the 1940s and 1950s that Husqvarna would have been putting out then. Let me move the camera closer and give you a closer look at the guts of this machine. There's that shorter belt that I was talking about. So this is going to be a 2-belt system as well. Yeah, I can see the difference now between where I was mistaking certain things to be plastic and they were metal. Our presser foot lever here definitely is plastic. You can probably see that even better on the screen than I can. This is going to be plastic for sure. And Husqvarna would go back and forth on that, wouldn't they, with their later models, where sometimes these would be made out of metal, sometimes they're made out of plastic. I'm curious on this one. As we're looking at this is going to be our presser foot here. I'll have to do some more digging into this machine to see if we are able to adjust our presser foot pressure on this model 3600, or whether or not it's going to be a preset level at the factory. I don't know the answer to that right now. The only adjustment I see is right here, where you would loosen this screw or this bolt. And right now we're set at this notch as far as the height of the presser foot stack, and we could move it to this position just as well, right? You see that right there? Right now we're manipulating this up and down with our plastic presser foot adjust lever right here, but we've actually got an opportunity to calibrate it differently right here to change the level of what our preset presser foot pressure would be. Yeah, cool. Let me turn the balance wheel a little bit, see if we can see some of the mechanics moving here. Oops, mistake. Don't do what I just did. If you're going to turn the balance wheel, have your presser foot lever in the up position. I initially had it down like that. We don't want to do that. Would someone type into the live chat why we don't want to be turning the balance wheel or running the machine with it like this? What's our mistake in doing that, as I started to do? What's our mistake in operating the machine or even turning the balance wheel with it in the down position like that? Yeah. There you can see we've got the lower rocker arms than that are coming into the raceway area, also that are critical service points for the machine. I'll get real low here and show you all the way across the bottom of the free arm assembly. And just yesterday, if you do Facebook, you saw me post a reel with the revelation. I had the revelation that Goo Gone, I think it was, not only removes obnoxious, annoying stickers like this, but it also removes permanent marker. Did any of you see that on Facebook? I posted that reel. And I'm guessing that the owners will be okay if we get rid of this sticker. They always pick the worst places to put these stickers, don't they? Boise Sewing Vacuum Center, blah, 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 blah. So at some point, this machine was out in Boise, Idaho. You can't see that in the shot real well. Let me see if I can get closer. There we go. A little bit better that way, maybe. But that's one of those annoying stickers that I take a lot of delight in removing from machines when they come into the workshop. As long as the owner gives me permission to do it, I always like to get rid of stickers like this that these sew and vac places will prominently stick it right on the inside of the pillar like that, so that, it's kind of insulting to the owner's intelligence a little bit, isn't it? It's kind of insulting to the owner's intelligence that they're not going to remember that it was serviced at this Boise, Idaho location unless they stick their sticker on the owner's machine. And they usually do it without asking permission. They just stick it on there. Sometimes they stick it right on the front of the machine, which is really annoying. Really, really annoying. But this again is the inside of this machine. I'll kind of back up the camera a little bit, give you the totality look at the back of this machine. And this would have been designed specifically so that you're going to be servicing this machine from the back. A lot of machines you have to service from the front, from the side, from the bottom, like on a lot of the Husqvarna machines. This one is giving you access to take off that panel, and then you can do 99% of the servicing from the side of the machine right here. There's still areas that you'll want to get into on the left side over here, near the motor and near the belt system. But the majority of the servicing you can take care of right here at the back of the machine. Almost like the Singer 101 series that would have come out in the early 1920s, where, remember, that entire bed comes off on that 101 that I've shown you before. So you can service the entire machine pretty much from the top by removing the entire bed. Husqvarna said, well, we're going to do it from the back. We're going to do it from the back so you can service the machine 99.9% by just taking off that back panel. Then they've got one of these really neat little telescoping spool pins that you can push up or pull down as well. You can kind of see that, I think. Yeah. So again, in this instance, once I'm done with this machine, I'll be able to teach you a lot more about this Model 3600. But right now, I am sitting in the same seat with you in the classroom. I'm sitting with you in the same seat in the classroom, and I am a fellow student as we begin to explore this machine and learn about it together. And then once I've circled back and I can finally eventually present this machine to you, then I can step more into the role of being a teacher. And then once you've learned from me, then you can step out into your circles and be a fellow teacher, carrying the information forward on this machine that we don't see very often, do we? We don't see machines like this very often. They're not very common, are they? Now we're kind of looking at the front of the machine again. So, yeah, it'll be fun to learn this machine, to become more intimate with it, and then to be able to circle back eventually once it's ready to be presented in a live stream. And then we'll be able to add this machine to our funny videos we have on the Cow Country channel. I just kind of gave it away. I'm such a big mouth. We have over 1,000 videos on this channel, over 1,000 videos that I've been adding and adding and adding and adding over a decade plus. And finally, this orange creamsicle machine, as I think a lot of us have embraced it now, this orange creamsicle machine can then be added to the ranks of that 1,000 plus videos that are on the Cow Country channel. And that's how a lot of people find me, is through the YouTube channel, because there's so many videos covering so many machines with so many manufacturers represented. And I've started to go through the process of breaking them out into little playlists or little categories where people can find the Swedish Beauties and the mighty German Pfaff machines and the Swiss machines and all the other machines as well. But that's still kind of a work in progress because I'm so busy. But it's such a privilege to welcome this machine to the workshop. I don't recall having had a model like this in the workshop before. So it's always great to have something new, isn't it? And I want to thank the owner. I want to thank the owner, Cora, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for giving us the privilege. And I'm saying us, like all of us, giving us the privilege to have this machine in the workshop. And again, I'm just kind of discovering things with you as we're looking at this machine together. But I can also see that this is going to have more of a long shank type design to it as well, instead of a short shank like some of the presser feet that go on the green machines. And that it's going to be a little bit different over here as well. Yeah, turns nicely. Turns really nicely. And I'm a good boy. I've got my presser foot up. Well, at any rate, I don't have anything else to share with you right now. I have nothing else I can share with you. I can look at the live chat. I haven't gotten any, to my knowledge, I haven't gotten any, other than the text message I got from Emma. I haven't gotten any other text messages where the leaders sometimes will bring to my attention that there's a question or a comment that I should be aware of. It's been kind of a quiet live stream, at least for me, in being able to show you these different things. And it frees me up having the leadership team take care of the family while I'm focused over here, seeing this machine for the first time. And I don't know if Robin having guessed 3600 model, maybe Robin has one of these machines. Maybe Robin has seen one of these machines before. But I'm seeing it for the first time with my vast amount of experience. I'm still learning. And isn't that exciting? Isn't it exciting that even someone like myself, or like our dear friend Alex Askarov, or many of you followed Andy Tube before his health took a turn for the worse. Andy Tube had a lot of followers following his work as well. Oh, okay. Bill, I just got a note from Susie from Minnesota that Bill aka Mesa Group, who has the beautiful puppy, won a hat, and he'd like the gray one for his daughter. Bill wants the gray one for his daughter. Bill already was wearing the other hat that he won previously that we sent him, that Susie prepared. He actually wore that in one of his videos. I think it was Susie that sent me a link of that video that Bill did on his channel. And he was wearing our Cow Country hat, which was really cool. And now we're going to get a hat out to Bill for his daughter to wear as well. And it's going to be the gray one. Let me grab that right now. It's going to be the gray one. This one, I believe, is the correct one. It's going to be the gray one with the glittery. I love this glitter. This glitter is like, I mean, you could almost blind someone with it. It's so bright. It's so beautiful. But it's got this gorgeous green glitter type text set on it, or whatever you'd call it. This block style text set, this glittery base to it. So this one will go to Bill's daughter. Yeah, I'll set this aside. And Bill, would you be so kind? You know what? I still think I have you saved on my information on my computer. But if you would privately text me or privately send a message to me via Facebook Messenger or whatever, with your address and information again, I think I have it saved. I'm almost 99% sure I have it saved. But would you send it to me again? And that way I can get this off to your daughter. And if you want to, in your message to me, because I remember as a boy, maybe I'm alone in this as well, but as a boy, it was such a big deal when I got my first piece of mail that had my name on it. It didn't have my parents' name. It didn't have my brother's name, who is 4 years older than me. It had my name on it. So, Bill, if you want to privately share with me your daughter's name, when I mail it out, I'll mail it to her attention. And that way, maybe it's a big deal, maybe it's not, but it'll be coming directly to her at the address that you provide. And that way she can open and say, no, no, Dad, it's for me. It's got my name on it. You know what I mean? It was a big deal to me. Maybe I'm alone. Maybe I'm alone and it's not a big deal to anyone else but me. So, but at any rate, this will be for Bill's daughter. Yeah. Maybe we'll eventually send a hat for Bill's dog. What do you think? Maybe that should be on our list. Maybe that should be on our list. All right, let me see if I have another message here. No, that was something else. That was another notification. Okay. All right, let's wrap up this live stream. It's a busy Saturday for everyone, including me. I've got to finish packing that machine to go to Phoenix, Oregon. Oh, yeah, good question, Robin. Robin just sent me a text and she said, Scott, where is the reverse on this machine? Check here. So I'm not seeing a reverse on any of these controls. But again, I don't know this machine incredibly well. Robin said, hey, Scott, where's the reverse and where do you wind the bobbin? The bobbin I can show you easily enough. I think I can. The reverse, I'm not quite sure about that right now. I'm not quite sure about that right now as far as this feels. I'm feeling this one in the middle. Here's what I'm going to say, Robin. I'm going to say that this is probably, but I've got to get an instruction manual for this machine because I'm not as familiar with it. This is a little bit of give on there. This is a little bit of give on there. So I'm going to guess. Let me rotate this. I am guessing. It's a guess. I'm guessing that this might be our reverse right here. Yeah, these are not giving me any play. This is giving me play right here. But it's stuck. It's probably frozen. I think this is our reverse, but I'm not sure. As far as our bobbin winding, let me rotate the machine around a little bit. This is going to be our bobbin winding right over here on the side of the machine. And this is going to allow us to engage it. And when it's not in use, to rotate it back to disengage it right over here. And I'm assuming, but I don't know for sure, it looks like a similar setup to our 1940, 1950 green machines, where when we slide a bobbin on, it should have an auto clutch disengagement. You slide a bobbin on here. Let's see here. Slide a bobbin on here, and that should take out our main shaft drive. But it's not, because I didn't engage it. Now let me engage it and try it again. We're still getting main shaft movement. We're still getting main shaft movement with a bobbin on and with this rotated forward. So this model, once I become more intimate with it, once I become more intimate with the machine and I get a hold of an instruction manual for it, and I go through that instruction manual, it may clue us into why that main shaft is not, it's not disengaging like a green machine would when we slide a bobbin on that bobbin winder and we rotate this forward. We're still getting main shaft movement on it right now. We got the bobbin on. We engage this forward. And as I rotate the balance wheel, our needle bar is still going up and down. So I'll have to look at that a little bit more to find out what mechanism, assuming this is equipped with the same auto clutch disengagement as the earlier versions were from the 1940s and the 1950s, with the Class 20 and the Class 21 machines that Husqvarna would have put out. Why this machine from the late 1960s, 1970s isn't disengaging that clutch right now? Because it should be. It should be, assuming it has that function. I would only trust that it does, but I won't know that until I get an instruction manual. So great questions, Robin. Great questions. Thank you for asking that so I could show that real quick before we broke away from this live stream. So a lot of things for me to learn. That's why I say sometimes a teacher always what? All of you type it in the live chat if you'd be so kind. Sometimes a teacher always, what's the word I'm looking for? And you can see that when we get in the workshop, a machine like this, it's never been on my workbench before, this Model 3600, where I can figure a lot of things out because of my experience, and so can you because you're so incredibly smart. I think you're smart because you're a part of our classroom, but hey, that's just my bias. But the point is, there's a lot to learn about this machine, isn't there? And that's what I look forward to doing, is becoming intimate with this Model 3600, and then I can present it and I can share the knowledge that I've gained with all of you as fellow teachers. And then you can go out to your circles and you can share your knowledge then about this Model 3600. All right, let me see if there's any other messages that have come through that I need to respond to. So Robin sent me that message. Where's the reverse and bobbin winder on this? We've answered that as best as we can. My hunch is this is going to be our reverse right here, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure until I get more knowledge on this machine. And the bobbin winder is also a little bit of a mystery why that clutch is not automatically disengaging. I'll know that better once I dig into the machine and I study it more closely. What else? That's all I have for text messages. If there were other questions, I trust that the moderating leadership team took care of them. That's, I'm very incredibly blessed to have them, and they oftentimes will answer those questions on my behalf. So Bill is going to text me the address. And again, Bill, if you want to send your daughter's name privately to me, I won't disclose that because I know parents are very protective of their children, as they should be in the crazy world that we're a part of now. But I will address the envelope privately to your daughter if you wish me to do that. Otherwise, I'll send it to your attention and then you can share it with her. Okay, that's all I've got. That's all I've got. I'll look at the live stream chat real quick to see if there's anyone else that I want to say hello to. And we will wrap this up so you can get on with your Saturday. And I might still be able to make it down to Bay Impressions. They close at noon. I've got some manuals that I had them print down there. They close at noon today, Central Time. So I have less than 15 minutes to make it down there and to try to collect those manuals before they close. Otherwise, I need to wait until Monday. So we'll wrap this up. I'll set up my little timer like I've been doing for fun for the countdown. And then we'll move on with our weekend, right? We'll move on with our weekend. So let me get the timer set up. Stopwatch. No, timer's what I need. There it is. All right, so set that right there. I think that's in the shot. You can see it clearly enough. Yep. Start it. And there's our 1 minute countdown. So thank you to everybody today. Thank you to the leadership team for taking such good care of our family and for being a sense of welcoming to our friends from around the world and around the USA that join these live streams. Thank you as well to those that stepped into the live chat to make yourself known and also provided, oops. I had to move the phone away real quick. That was a message from Bill. And then when it pops up as a text message, and I should caution folks about this, when you text me, it pops up on the screen with your number. So that's why I moved the phone real quick so you can't see Bill's number. So no more texting until we end the live stream, please. We're down to about 10 seconds. down to about 10 seconds. I may go over a little bit so I can say hello to some other folks. Hello to Joe Muntz as well. Let me end that. Oh, I'll just put it down like that. Hello to Joe Muntz as well. Hello to Michelle. Hello to Michelle. Michelle is Avos Guard 78, and she's part of my leadership team as well, but she's been taking care of her family, so we don't see as much of Michelle as we would like to. But eventually, when things settle down for her, I'm sure you'll see Michelle in the live streams more again. And again, she's Avos Guard. Avos Guard. Who else? Who else? Oh, hello to Kevin. Kevin, I don't know if I said hello to Kevin before or not. Kevin Bard. Kevin Bard. I hope I'm saying the last name correctly. Said hello to LJ as well. Okay, I believe I said hello to everybody that's in the live stream. I believe I said hello to everybody. If I missed anyone, please forgive me. And I trust that the leaders already have welcomed you. I'm going to dismiss that. So again, have a great rest of your weekend. I don't know if I'll be prepared to do another live stream on Tuesday or not. Our routine has kind of become Saturday mornings. Well, if you're in another part of the world, it's not morning, it's probably evening, like for our friends over in Europe or in Sweden. And so on Saturdays and Tuesdays has kind of become our routine. And but if I am ready, if I do get ready with this machine out of Colorado, I'll just show that to you real quick. Look at those hats that Susie made. Those are all the hats that Susie made that eventually I'll give away. But this Model 230 is the next machine I'm kind of focusing on out of Colorado. So if I somehow miraculously get this ready by Tuesday, I don't think I will. But if I get it ready by Tuesday, then I'll probably present this machine to you on Tuesday. Maybe I'll present something else to you on Tuesday. But otherwise, have a great weekend. And I'll let you know as soon as I'm ready to do the next live stream. And thanks again to the leaders. Thank you to Michelle. Thank you to Sunny. Thank you to Susie. Thank you to Emma. I think those are the only leaders that kind of popped up in this live stream today. But if I missed somebody, please forgive me for that. Please forgive me. Let's see. Yeah, that was a message from Bill. That was a message from Bill providing his daughter's information, which I will not say. I'm looking at it. I will not say it. But if Bill wants to share eventually that his daughter got the hat and wants to give her name, he can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to honor their privacy. All right, take care, everybody. God bless. Our timer ran out. I will end the live stream shortly, and have a great rest of your weekend, okay? And thank you again to Cora for sending this, what I would consider to be a rare Viking 3600 model that I'm going to become more acquainted with, and then eventually be able to present this machine to all of you. So God bless you guys and gals. Take care. And thanks again to the leaders for minding the store so beautifully so I could focus on this machine that I'm beginning to get really excited about, having seen it for the very first time. Cool, right? Yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. See ya. Yeah, and I got to say, we love you too, Michelle. We love you too, and continuing to pray for your family as you take care of them so well. God bless all you guys and gals that are part of the Cow Country family. And I will give you more updates, or you can watch Alex's page or Yana's page once that package gets there and they go, wow, we love that Cow Country family. I know that that's what Alex and Yana and Tom and the others will say as well. because of the thoughtful things we're sending their way. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, rewind. You'll see the goodies that we're sending towards Alex, who's going through chemotherapy right now for a rare cancer, and other encouragement things for he and his wife, Yana, and their family over there in the UK. Our family is all around the world, if you didn't know that. Our family is all around the world. What a privilege and what an honor to have our family all across the globe, isn't it? It's so much fun. Take care, everybody. See ya.